We're live.
Ooh.
It's Tuesday,
We're
9 o'clock. We're live.
live. Yet again, it's Tuesday night, Dive Bar Comedy. I'm Wild Joe. We have our regular co-hosts and our tech person, Carol Newell, in the house, and our MC, Mr. C. Plus, we have all of our guest comics, which you will meet in just a minute. So I'm going to turn it over to Carol to play our lovely theme song by the late and great GT. Everybody who's watching this, start your watch party so people can join on and comment and watch it all together on Facebook.
I wake up when the sun goes down. I wake up when the sun goes down. I wanna do some comedy. I wanna do some comedy. At a dive bar, at a dive bar, at a dive bar, at a dive bar. I can't say what I wanna say. I can't say what I wanna say. Uncensored. Dive bar comedy. Dive bar comedy. Dirty, bad, nasty 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 comedy. Dive bar comedy.
Yeah.
All right. That dirty, bad, nasty comedy. That's what we're about here. All right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Let's introduce the people we have on our show tonight. I'm Wild Joe. We've got a lot of people who I know from the real life comedy scene. And we've all been hiding out in our little hidey holes and are joining you from our virtual bars, except for Carol Newell. She makes it out in real life to 3 real life shows every week, plus 3 virtual shows a week. What have you been up to? And tell us about your shows, Carol.
Last Friday, we did the carpool comedy. We did it socially distant, stay in your car, listen to comedy show. It was awesome. We're going to do it monthly. So the next one's going to be October 17th. We're already working on the lineup. We got half of it booked and we're going to start putting that out there pretty soon. And we still have all the rest, the 2 open mics and then the Pan Pacific Park on Saturday afternoons at 4 p.m. Come out for that. That's a weekly show. And so yeah, still, and then all the Zooms that you can handle.
Carol's the hardest working, what do they call the hardest working lady in show business right now. She's taking this pandemic stuff to the next level and using it to launch her producing and hosting career. Because you're the host at a lot of these mics, right?
You got,
And
yeah.
shows.
Oh yeah, I'm the host. I'm the hostess with the mostest. I'm the mistress of ceremonies. I just, you got to make your own opportunities. Really, that's what it is. There's no clubs open. So if you want to do comedy, you got to get out there in the wild.
Yeah. And that's what I'm all about. Wild Joe. All right.
Yep.
Speaking of hosts, Mr. C.
Yeah.
You got
What
back
up?
from an amazing trip with your skip bags buddies.
Yeah.
Where were you?
Out in Catalina Island, out in Avalon. We also went to White's Landing at a camp. Well, I went there by myself as I almost was killed by several bison, but it was also enjoyable. Yeah, by the way, bison shit is the size of my head. I'm not bullshit. Size of my fucking head, yo. But it was a real cool experience and whatnot. Had some foxes running around, saw some great stuff, had some fun, turned up, and we're going back. So if you never been to Catalina and you live in California, man, go at least for 1 weekend or a day, or take a date out there, or get married, or get somebody pregnant out there. Something. Go to Catalina, man, and let's get ready for the job bar. I'm glad to be here, man. Let's go.
All right. I heard a story about those bison out in Catalina that they came for some kind of movie, like a Roy Rogers movie or something, and they just ended up staying there, breeding, and taking over the island.
You're exactly right. One of the guys told me the story that back in the 50s, they brought him there for a movie and whatnot, made the movie, never put the movie out, and it's like, fuck it, leave the bison here. And it went from like 20 of them to like 300 bison. And then they had to actually he said they had to do some birth control. I said, what? Look, I play Red Dead Redemption. I know what birth control is. It usually has a book. But according to him, I guess they used to just jerk them off to the point where they couldn't nut. So now they're down to 100. It's pretty cool.
Interesting method. I mean, they'd have to do that like every day, but for somebody who has that job, maybe they enjoy it. So
Tenacious.
yeah. And for another little known fact that I found out is that there is Catalina Island, and there's actually 8 islands total, all the way from Ventura down the coast.
Really?
And some have nobody living there, but you could camp. You're like the only person, like if you wanted to feel like you're alone on a deserted island. And they have ferries that go maybe once a day or a couple times a week. So one day, if I'm really brave, I'm thinking about camping on one of those.
Yeah, well, even Catalina is the same way. It is 80% conserved. So this guy named Wrigley, I don't know if he's the Wrigley gum motherfucker too, but back in the 20s and 30s, he bought the island. It used to just be him and his wife. And he actually used to get so drunk on a horse on the way home. She put all these eucalyptus trees. So there's like 3,000 eucalyptus trees along these trails. So his horse wouldn't walk off the cliff while he's drunk. And he turned part of it into a thing. And he was about to do the whole island commercial. And then he just was like, yo, this shit too beautiful. So they started a conservancy group where it's 80% conserved. So that shit is like Jurassic Park once you get outside the city. There's only 2 cities, and the other one is on the other side called like 2 points or some shit. There are only 200 people living there. They don't even have a supermarket and have a general store. So
Wow.
Even on that island, it's only 3,000 people in Avalon.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow. Yeah, it's one of those places that's nearby, but people don't go very often. So,
Yeah.
All right. Travel tips from Miss to C. Cool. So let's see who we have tonight. I'm just going to go in the order I see him. Gary Robinson.
How you
Welcome
doing?
back to the show.
Thank you.
What have you been up to? I see you're always doing your video editing, and I see you've got a new song coming out, a hit single. Is that but it was under a different name. Is that a secret project, or is that something
Well, not
you're
that
willing to
secret,
talk
but
about?
it's a tribute. It's a love song to Trump. It's by DJ Sharpcut. It's called Trump the Traitor. Missed to see you missed it, and we played it right before. But it's on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Amazon. It's all over the place. So I'm working on some music videos for it right now. But it's fun.
And are you rapping on this song, Gary?
Yeah. It's the first song and last song I'm ever going to rap on. So
That's
it's
your
a once in
first
a lifetime
rap?
opportunity to hear it.
Oh, wow. Carol's a great rapper. Carol, well, Mr. C also, but Carol's another unexpected rapper. She sometimes raps in one of her jokes.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Looking
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, for your first attempt, that's great. You had a good rhyme. Now I forgot what it was. It was traitor,
Trump the
perpetrator.
Traitor.
What was
Trump
that
the
rhyme?
Traitor.
Do you remember?
The chorus, Trump the racist, Trump the rapist, Trump the traitor, the tax evader.
Traitor, tax evader. That's
Yeah.
a good rhyme.
It's a white boy
Traitor,
rhyme.
tax
That's that's a white guy's rhyme.
Well, I appreciate it. Maybe because I'm a white girl, so I appreciate that. But I thought that was a good rhyme. I also have written a lot of songs in my life, and finding original and catchy rhymes is not always easy, and especially something like that that's so relevant to your subject matter. You know, you didn't have to say something weird. You were sticking on topics. So great rhyme. What else have you been doing, Gary?
I gave the virtual tour for IBC, which is a big convention in Europe. It's kind of like NAB for video producers in Europe. So just mainly that, and then just going out partying all the time in big groups. Any kind of stuff like that. Hanging out with tons of people. Wherever I can get into big groups, I always try to do that.
Well, there's probably a lot more big groups and partying going on than you would know about, because now instead of people posting it on Facebook, they have to like keep their pictures private and don't tell anybody. But I bet people are sneakily gathering more than you would guess, you know, and not bragging about it.
Yeah.
But anyway, good for you. Staying home.
Yeah.
I'm actually in Santa Barbara right now with, we rented a house like over a year ago before any of this was going to go down, with my immediate family, my parents and my brother and sister. And it works out as a nice place for us to all meet up because we live all over in different cities.
Okay.
And it's a good place to kind of do a staycation type of vacation where we're just in a house, and we got croquet. We're trying to learn how to do croquet, which is harder than you would think, and karaoke and just hanging out. But anyway, that's why if I look different lighting, I'm in a different virtual bathroom with my virtual background, or my real bathroom with a virtual background. So if you see a shower curtain suddenly pop up, it's I'm in a new bathroom. Anyway, all right, Gary, I'm happy to have you on, and can't wait to hear your new jokes.
Cool.
All right, Nicole Birch, first time on our show. Welcome.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I don't remember how we found each other, but how
I
long have you been doing comedy? How'd you get into comedy? Where'd you come from?
I'm originally from Kansas City, which is actually where I'm quarantining right now. But I moved to LA 11 years ago, immediately started sketch and improv at the Groundlings, worked my way up to Sunday Company, did that for a year, or no, almost a year. And then after that, started writing my own shows. I wrote a show called The 7 Guys You Date Before You Get Married that ran for 15 months at the Groundlings. And then after that, I started doing stand-up, mostly to find what worked that I could put inside my scripts. And then it kind of took off from there. And then the end of 2018, I filmed my first comedy special called Never Been Kissed. And that's what I've been promoting. It just premiered on Amazon September 15th. So,
Awesome.
Wow.
Congratulations. So
Yeah.
people will have to look that up. Never
Congrats.
Been Kissed on Amazon.
Amazon and Apple TV.
Amazing.
Yeah.
We
thank
love
you.
that.
Thank you.
Wow. So I heard we were talking about Amazon Prime not long ago. One of the hurdles to getting on is closed captioning. So you had to get it closed captioned, or you don't know.
No, I did it with Comedy Dynamics, and they got it.
So they did all the technical stuff.
They
for
did
you.
all that. Yeah, I don't. That's a lot of legwork. Well, and
I'm like, closed captioning. That sounds like hard, but
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Never Been Kissed. Awesome. Well, you're good at titles because you got 7 guys you date before you're married. Was that the name of your show?
That was it. Yep. And then
That's good.
Never
People like
Been-
odd numbers. That 7's a lucky number,
Mhm.
and
the
so
Never Been
catchy.
is from, if you ever saw the movie Never Been Kissed with Drew Barrymore.
Uh-huh.
So after a really bad heartbreak and being single for 2 years, and a devastating heartbreak, I end up going to a Hollywood party and I end up meeting the lead actor in Never Been Kissed. I was obsessed with that movie when I was 17. Like, I watched it. I had no friends. I watched it like 300 times. And I meet this guy, we hit it off and we go on a date. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is my Prince Charming. This is my moment. And then everything that could go wrong on the date went wrong. And so this is the comedy special talking about that date. So yeah.
Wow. Oh, well, now we're really intrigued. So we're going to have to check that out. So
Yeah, it's very
cool.
embarrassing. Very, very embarrassing. So
I think everybody's been on those kind of dates. So, I got set up. That reminds me, I got set up on a date with, and I never watched the show. I want to say the movie Napoleon Dynamite.
yeah.
There was a guy, vote for Pedro.
Oh,
Yeah.
Pedro.
Yeah.
I went on a date with him. I'd never watched the movie. And I guess he plays kind of a dork or something. And
Yeah.
he wasn't like the best looking guy, but he was actually very nice. He was a gentleman. He had kind of like big teeth and was really short. But anyway, that was another one of those could have, but didn't happen, guys.
There you
One of
go.
the ones that got away. But anyway, all right. It could have been me and Pedro. Anyway, okay, Nicole, I'm happy to have you on. Let's see what else we got going on tonight. Mario Tonki.
Oh, hey. Hi.
You've been on our show before. You've been on our live shows. You've been on this show before too?
Was that the live one? Yeah, I wasn't the live. I wasn't one of those. That was fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, cool. So what have you been doing during this period of self-reflection?
God, is that what we're calling it?
I don't know. I don't want to say. Somebody called it the Q word last episode, and I spent the whole time trying to figure out like what's the Q word. So I guess I'm not allowed to say it.
I don't know. I'm back to feeling the impending doom without the extra unemployment. I was feeling good with all that extra money. Now I'm like, now it's run out. So it's like, oh fuck, I don't know what to do.
What's your career? Are you a bartender?
A sous chef. So that's like, that's all in the gutter right now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The restaurant business.
I've been on Craigslist and Indeed like every single day, like looking for jobs, and it's like, ugh, it's like they have manager jobs for $18 an hour. It's like, fuck you. Like, you want me
to? If
like,
you want to be a mover, there's a lot of moving jobs.
I know.
I don't know if that's your style, but go
bleak
share.
out there. It's bleak out there. I started fucking exercising. I'm out of things to do. Like, so that's where I'm at. I started taking yoga.
Keep exercising, Mario. You'll be able to move with all those moving jobs. You can move couches and beds and all the furniture.
Hard labor. I'd start an OnlyFans, but I'm not hot enough to do that by myself. I need like a girl, but not by myself. I wouldn't really rack up the.
Maybe if you only show your feet, you could get some kind of weird pervert.
That's true. I should look into it. Feet or like sell my underwear or something.
Yeah, you can sell your smelly underwear.
I could sell my exercise underwear. That work out.
See?
I'm sorry, Heather. I see your face and you don't like it, but it's what it is. We're all gonna have to be perverts at some point, and so that's what it's gonna come to. We're all gonna be on the internet jerking off.
Well, comics are very creative, so I'm sure you'll be able to think of some good scheme.
I'll figure it out. We'll see.
All right. What else? Have you been doing comedy?
Yeah, here and there. I go to Carol's real life things. I go to a couple other ones. There's one at the North Hollywood Fourth Wall still going, but it's turned into a dude fest there, and it's kind of not fun. Isn't
that all of comedy for the most part?
I know. I say these things. I don't think ahead, but it's like, yeah, I guess that's what it is. But it's like, it's not fun when it's just there's no girls around. Not even like, I don't even mean that like, oh, we need to like, but just like, it's not fun watching 10 dudes in a row fucking talk. Like, get the fuck out of here with these like lineups, you know?
No, that's actually I think the next couple of weeks.
Put some girls on.
I have all guys on my show too, and I don't plan it that way, but there's just a lot more guys.
There is, and it's like most of the girls, they're not out doing it right now, and it's it's like there's a few, but not a ton.
So I always wondered, everywhere I went, I was always one of the only girls, and I always wondered, where are the girls? Like, where are they? Because they don't really go out to bars. They don't join bands. They're not comedians. They don't go to business school. Like, they're not. I don't know where they are, but once I had a baby,
they're hiking.
They're probably home under their babies.
They're at the hikes that I've been going on. They're at the hikes that I've been going on. They're all out exercising. That's where they're at.
Maybe. On my Zoom show, I almost always have at least as many women as I do men. I seek them out.
Yeah. Well, that you're doing it on purpose, but if you just wait for the ones to come to you, there's just a lot more guys out there. But yeah, I end up with a lot of women, and I don't really seek them out. I just book people that I know and that I think are funny, and it just usually works out. There's some of everything. So yeah, I don't do it on purpose. I'm not like, oh, I need one black guy. I need one Middle Eastern. I need one woman. I need one handicapped person. I just, whoever it is, so
yeah.
Anyway. All right, Mario. Well, good luck. At least we can cheer you up tonight. and
You will.
then you can work on your big
Just
muscles
laugh at
and
me. Just laugh at me.
you get your manual labor going as soon as you're
Okay.
done with this.
Yes.
All right, Heather Winter,
Hey, Wild
here you
Joe.
are.
Here I am.
What's been going on?
Oh, I mean, just living the best Q life. Is it like Voldemort now? Like we're not allowed to say the Q word anymore?
I didn't know. I heard that
That's
it's called the
gonna
Q
affect
word.
a
I
lot
thought
of
they were
my
talking about
jokes.
queer, and I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Anyway, there's a new Q word in town. Can't say it.
Well, I mean, I don't want to come off sounding, but my quarantine's been fine. I mean,
Good.
it's not. Yeah, I feel like Mario. I don't know about you, but my unemployment got extended, so I'm chilling.
I got they filed for it, so hopefully I get it. I just got some of my $300 payments like randomly, like.
Oh, then you'll get approved. You're good. Once
Yeah.
I saw that.
Here's something I just learned a couple of days ago. I talked to my friend who didn't even have a job and was getting unemployment checks. And I'm like, how? You didn't even have a job. She goes, oh, there's some loophole where you can apply as an independent contractor. I'm like, oh, maybe I should try that one. Because but I did have a summer job. So I had a job all summer long, but it ended. So I'm like, well, I don't have one now. So maybe I could apply as an independent contractor or who knows what. But anyway, yeah, my friend, she'd never worked she has worked, but not much. And
my sister hasn't had a job, I think, in over a year and applied and got $68 approved, but then she got that extra 600. So she was chilling.
Wow.
It's crazy. I know.
You guys do realize these are the reasons why they cut the money back on Mario and everybody else, right?
I guess.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
gotta work the system.
Yeah. We got to get back from the government what they take from us. That's what I think.
Start scamming.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
But like, can you only scam the government? Because like scamming other people,
No, because
we could just
actually right now, I mean, you could scam your landlord because landlords can't do anything to evict you. And the tenant just gets to sit there and not pay for as long as they want. And the landlord can't do a thing, which is kind of unfair because not all landlords are rich. They're just using that money to pay the mortgage.
Actually not.
A lot of
what
times.
they're doing is they're postponing the payment and then they're prorating it on your next year's lease.
Yeah,
exactly. But what if you just move somewhere else and just let your
You'll
credit
have
score
fucked
take the
up
hit
credit and owe them thousands of dollars.
on paper? Doesn't mean they're gonna pay. If they can't, they're not gonna pay double rent all year next year. Come on. They're going to move some other state or someplace and just let their credit score take a big hit and who knows. But anyway, it's all messed up. So.
Anyway.
At least I'm a landlord. So. All right. Heather, what else has been going on? So you've been collecting your extended unemployment.
Yeah.
And you must have a lot of free time then. So you're not working?
I am working, but I work at a restaurant. So I only work like 2 days a week at the most right now because we have like just a small area that's our like made up patio. Plus, so I'm not making like anything you could afford to live on. So the unemployment's actually keeping me alive. But also people during quarantine, you would think that they'd be like nicer when they went out to eat, but they're so much worse. They're so much worse right now.
Really?
I mean, oh my God, yeah. I have at the job that I'm at, I haven't been stiffed this much before quarantine. Like people either stiff you or give you just like the worst tip. It's insane. It's shocking, like how terrible people are. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you would think people would have more, people that have jobs still would have a lot of extra money sitting around because there's nothing to do. So you just sit around at home. And I guess you could online shop, but why? Buy a bunch of clothes that nobody's going to see you wear. I don't know. I actually kind of did that. I bought a lot of clothes, but.
I did too. I kept the economy going with this unemployment. Let me tell you, I gave it all back, all back.
You're a giving
Target got
person.
half of it and TJ Maxx got the other half. I can hefty bills.
Well, you have a big heart. All right, Heather. Well, we're happy to have you on, and
Thank you. Thank you.
it'll be fun to hear your stuff. All right. Who else we got? Howard or Ronan. Am I saying that right?
Perfect.
Good. You're a first timer on our show.
Yeah.
And, I think I found you because you were commenting on our other show. You watched the Dive Bar Comedy before, right?
I watch regularly. I know Carol,
Oh.
and I knew GT very well. I did
Aw.
many shows with GT.
I had a friend, Bruce Boyman, if anybody remembers him. He was a friend of GT's. He called GT's phone and I answered it. And he just called him to talk about how much he loves Trump because GT loves Trump. And when I answered and I told him, oh, I'm sorry, GT died, he's like, oh, man, I wanted to talk to him about Trump. And then he went into like a 1 hour lecture on how great Trump is with me. Like he didn't even care that I wasn't GT. He just went off and I was like, oh my God, GT might as well be here because that's what he would be doing right now is just like talking my ear off about like whatever Hannity and Rush Limbaugh said on talk radio he listened to all day and then come home and like spout it out to me as if like I'm like the face of all liberals and he needs to like reform me. And anyway, I got an earful from his friend. You know, he gave up comedy. He said he got so much hate because he was a Trump lover that he wasn't getting anywhere with comedy and that all the liberals hated him. And he moved to Vegas where there's no state taxes. And he says liberal state like California is going down the drain and he had to get out of there and he had to quit comedy. So that's his story, Bruce Boyman. But otherwise, I would definitely have him on the show. He had a big personality. So anyway, but so Howard,
I don't want to brag, but I was audience member number 47 at Nicole Birch's taping.
Nice.
wow.
Oh, congrats.
You got a credit for
I
that?
was there.
Oh, yay.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
you know Corey Craig. That's how we just reconnected with Corey Craig, who was
I love Corey Craig. Yes.
Yeah, he's great. He's fantastic.
Cool. So Howard, how long have you been doing stand-up? Long time, sounds like.
Probably 10 years off and on. This is a brand new iPhone. I don't know if you can hear me. This is my first time doing the Zoom on the iPhone. Can you hear me? Oh, good.
Perfectly.
10 years, I would say, solid.
Nice. And what have you been doing then now that you're not allowed to do these regular bar shows and comedy clubs? Like where have you been performing during this year?
I can't tell you. It's a secret.
Secret.
No,
Secret locations.
I am an older person, so it took me a long time to get into this. So I'm now doing shows galore, and I kept turning them down and trying to get acquainted with Zoom, which now we are very close, Zoom and I think I can handle the Dive Bar comedy show tonight. I think I'm ready.
You're doing very well. I like your dive bar. That's an original.
No, Nicole has it.
Nicole has it? Let me see. How did you guys? Oh, it's the same bar.
Yeah.
All right. It looks different. It looks different on you.
It's one.
Did you copy Nicole? You told me you were her fan.
I did not. This is
Okay.
This is the universe. This is how the universe acts.
Okay, because you were there at her show. You have you were, what was it? Fan number or spectator number or whatever, 37.
Audience member number 47.
Audience member number 47. You even wrote to me before the show and said, "Oh, I'm happy to be on your show because Nicole Birch is going to be on your show."
Don't tell her I said that. Please
I
don't tell
just told her.
Oy vey.
I'm her biggest fan. Aw,
Thank you.
well, that's sweet.
Oh, you haven't.
No,
seen my-
even comics are fans of other comics if they think they're
Oh my
funny.
God, she's amazing.
Of course.
She's one of my favorite comedians. I'm telling you. I don't want to put
Great.
pressure on her because
were-
she's going
you were-
first, but
Setting the bar high.
I
Very.
know.
All right. Well, maybe you're going to have to follow her then. Make it more difficult for you.
He is.
All right, you guys. Well, that's our lineup. It's going to be a fun show. I can tell already. So I'm going to turn it over to Mr. C and get this show going. Our virtual
All right. Yeah. All right, Dive Bar Comedy Time. All right, you guys. So yeah, I'm Mr. C the Enforcer, aka Poppy Carlo, aka Methuselah, aka Black Jesus, aka me. You know what I mean? And it's a Dive Bar Comedy Show representing Setbacks Entertainment. And we're going to jump this thing off. We got 6 great comedians coming to the stage, and we're going to get it down. So let's fire it up, and let's go clap, 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 clap. It's the Dive Bar Comedy Show. Are you guys ready for the first comedian? Can I get a yeah?
Yeah.
Can I get a yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got fired up. I'm going to send you guys all some cocaine. All right. So let's get ready for our first comedian come to the stage. This lady is a first timer, so we're going to bust this cherry. We love to get it out front because that's how you start off any good gang bang. So we're going to give this wonderful, talented, blonde-haired beauty. She has many skills. She is a writer. She is a creator. She is an actor. She is a stage presence. She does plays. She does improv. She does specials. And right now she's got a new special coming out on Amazon and Apple called Never Been Kissed. You know what I'm saying? It is not because she ain't cute. It must be an inside thing. How I know. And you're about to hear what that inside sounds like right now. So can I get a clap, 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 clap for Nicole? Never Been Kissed.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much. Okay. So since this is Dive Bar Comedy, I've decided to share with you, since I was a bartender for 16 years until the pandemic. One of my favorite stories is about a 180 bar regular. So for me, a 180 bar regular, somebody who comes in is so normal at first. And then after a certain amount of drinks, depends on the person, but after a certain amount of drinks, they flip a 180. And they're a complete fucking nightmare, okay? So my favorite 180 bar regular was a guy named Old Man Jimmy. He was mid-70s. He was lovely. He would come in, he would be gregarious. He'd be like, how are you? How's your mom? How's the writing going? And then after 3 vodkas on the rocks, would flip. He'd start slurring his words. He'd start bouncing into things. He'd look at me and he'd be like, hey, Nicole, I got to tell you something. If I was 40 years younger, I'd jump over this bar and I'd take you. You wouldn't even know what's coming. They'd have to hold down your legs. And I was like, hey, that's 1,000%. And no, thank you. So one night we're doing a Kettle One promotion, right? And I've got big boobs, right? So we're wearing this low cut tank top and it says Kettle One across the boobs. So Jimmy's had his 3 vodkas. And he leans over and he's slurring his words and he's like, hey, Nicole. I was like, what is it, man? And he's looking right at him. And he's looking right at him and he goes, I got to tell you what, if those things aren't filled with vodka, that's false advertisement. And that was Jimmy. That was my favorite pretending story. I don't know if you know this. I do have a 1-year-old daughter right now, which is lovely, love her to pieces, but I also never really wanted kids. So, so much so that when my sister was pregnant many years ago, she was so frustrated. She's like, I can't eat, I can't drink anything. I was like, you know what? I remember, I know you can't eat, you can't drink, you can't smoke, or you can't drink, you can't smoke, you can't do drugs. Everybody knows that. She goes, no, I can't even eat eggs because there's listeria in it. I can't have smoked trout, which is oddly fucking specific. She goes, I can't even have coffee because it's bad for the baby's heartbeat. And that's when I thought, oh, I'm definitely not having kids. Because even if I had a kid, that thing would grow up to be a toddler and look at me and be like, Mommy, do you still love me? And I'd say, not as much as sushi and a good Cabernet. That's why your head's bent. That joke I used to love to do, and then I had a baby, so okay. But speaking of my daughter, again, light of my life, I ended up having a one-night stand with my best friend. And when I say a one-night stand, it was more like we attempted to have a one-night stand, and then we were like, this feels gross, let's stop. And then 3 weeks later, I was pregnant. So ooh. Yeah. So we decided to have it. I decided, and he is along for the ride. And so I was like, look, I'm really excited. The hormones have kicked in, which is, I think, nature's way of being like, shh, you really want this baby. And so I was on board. I was like ready to be a mom. I was going through I had this natural glow. Everything was great about my pregnancy. Delivery is a different story, but I was so excited. And for him, it was a little different. It looked just like a midlife crisis. So even though he was game, he was slowly breaking apart inside. So for instance, I learned how to install a car seat and how to use a breast pump. He bought a motorcycle and got 5 tattoos in a month. And three of those tattoos were Smith lyrics. So, then I would look at my belly and I would sing, "You are my sunshine, my only sunshine." And he would look at my belly and start singing REM's "Everybody Hurts." And then I would read "Goodnight Moon," and he brought over Anne Frank's diary. I was like, we're in a very different, this is a different. But eventually he got on board and was really excited, especially when it came to delivery time. So we go to the hospital, and in the room is my mother, my best girlfriend, Corey, and then Craig, the dad. Now the nurse cannot figure out what our dynamic is. She knows my mom's the grandmother, but she's looking at us three and she's like, she couldn't figure out if Corey and I were lesbians and he was the donor, or if him and Corey were together and I was the surrogate. She couldn't figure it out, right? So at one point it's time to start pushing, and the nurse goes, "All right, I need somebody to grab her right leg, somebody grab her left leg, and somebody help hold her head up." And so my mom looks at Craig and she's like, "Craig, are you okay with the head?" And I said, if he was okay with the head, we wouldn't be in this situation. So that's when the nurse figured it out, supposedly. So that's been really interesting. And then I will leave you with my favorite dating advice. This is universal. So my mom actually taught this to me. She goes, you don't want to date somebody who has always been good looking. They can be good looking now, but if they've been good looking their entire lives, that's not good, because they haven't learned how to hunt for their food or develop a personality or a sense of humor, right? So she said, what you want is you want an 8 who used to be a 2, an 8 who used to be a 2. Somebody with maybe some acne or some mild scoliosis in college. That's your moneymaker right there. And I was thinking, I was like, does that even make sense? I was like, yes, because the most successful relationship I ever had was with this guy, and he was gorgeous. But in college, he had a weight problem, and he had one of those Italian boxer noses where it looked like a square peg had been shoved up there because somebody used to beat the shit out of him. You know what I'm talking about? But then he did some cardio and went to an ENT doctor that fixed his, deviated septum. Okay. And by the time he got to me, he was gorgeous. He was gorgeous, but with low self-esteem. And I was like, this is perfect. And every time I would feel him start to slip away, I would lean in and I would pinch what used to be his love handle, and I'd whisper, who's mommy's chubby little bunny? And he's not going anywhere. Why, ladies? You got to break a horse to make a stallion. That's why. I'm
Yeah. Good job. One more round for Nicole Birch. Great. That's good stuff. She even took me back through my childhood. When I graduated from kindergarten, we actually sang "You Are My Sunshine," my only sunshine. Also, girls used to call me ugly in high school and elementary school. They won't know more.
Uh-huh.
No more.
Another great job. Once again, remember to check out her special that's coming out on Amazon and Apple, Never Been Kissed. One more final round for Nicole Birch. That's right. We're going to keep it going back to back like Cook Crack on 5th Street in Duncannon in Philly. Get it ready. We got another gentleman coming to the stage, Mr. Smooth, Mr. Cool, another nude. He was in cut. He was a little scared of Zoom, but then Zoom gave him the reach around, and he loves Zoom right now. So he's back in the game. He also got a new iPhone, so now he's in the system, and he can't escape. We got you, boy. So you better get ready. This man's going to fire it up. Let me take a look so I can make sure I say his name correctly. Ooh, I like his name, too. So this guy's name, if you break up his last name, it almost means he's like a warrior, like a hitman. They even had a movie about it, like Al Pacino, one of them dudes. Bad motherfucker, right? So this is a bad motherfucker, and he's a warrior for the laughs. It's going to come for your mouth. So let's get it fired up. And can I get a clap, 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 clap? the Howard of Ronan.
Did you say I'm a bad motherfucker?
Damn right.
Thank you. Okay, we're gonna start with some COVID poetry written in quarantine. My first poem is entitled Spectrum Cable Repairman. 6 p.m. by Howard Ronan. A bad motherfucker. I called to see if he was running on time. He wasn't. Traditional to snap or clap, or when the poem is over, I can wait. I thought I would start off with poems. I don't know. I thought that would impress Nicole, but it. Okay. So, I'm Howard Ronan. I'm America's safety professional. I've been a flight attendant for a major airline for 36 years. 36. I can't tell you the name of the airline. It rhymes with collided. I'm presently on a furlough / leave of absence, or as Collided refers to it, a slight delay in my career. Thank you, Carol. That's the laugh of Carol that we love. Yes. It's a huge company. It's huge. They know who I am and they care about me, because every day I get these emails. Dear employee 068189-38, you have been a wonderful man, woman, or service animal. Please retire. You're at the top of the pay scale now. You can stay home with the 06 family. Love Collided. I think I made that was
Bluetooth disconnected.
Oops. Sorry.
So being a flight attendant, you know what I hate the most? Do you want to know? It's this. This is it. I have been showing people how to put on a seatbelt all my life. You should know by now. There's one in your car. You practice on the way to the airport. I tell people it's like a relationship. You click, you get closer, and separate. Like my ex-wife. She was buckling behind my back. I have a poem about it, but there's no time. So, I've been quarantined since March with my fiancée, Marcy. She teaches art. And I asked her to marry me 1 year ago on an airplane. I actually got on my knee and proposed. It was a once in a life. It was a twice in a lifetime event. Yes. So now we're quarantined together. It's very exciting. Living with a flight attendant. We're constantly traveling. Hey, honey, grab your passport. We're going to the kitchen. Or the bar. Oh, and at night, hey, honey, tonight we're going to play Bad Passenger. Put on your mask first. Marcy, she's asleep. She couldn't stay up till the 9:43. Older people are asleep at this time. In Kansas City, they're awake, but here, I'm 60. I turned 60 this year during the what the 60. My supervisor at work is in his 20s. Can I cuss on this show? It's
Yeah.
it's crazy. His name is Joey. My supervisor, Joey. He's always trying to get me in trouble. You know how the 20-year-olds talk. Mr. Steve, you know how they talk. With the, oh my God, Lady Gaga, Venmo, Twitter, TikTok, Billie Eilish. That's how they talk. The 20-year-old. I'll wait for any. And the weird part is that I actually have 2 children of my own in their 20s. So I made 2 children, a boy and a girl, and they are brilliant. They're out there doing stuff in the world. I was never really comfortable with telling them what I did for a living until I was in my, or they were in their late teens, and I sat them down to tell them the truth. I said, children, I'm not Captain Howard Ronan, 747 pilot. I'm Howie, straight male flight attendant. And my son said, "You're straight?" Yeah, you have a Freddie Mercury mustache, you're a flight attendant, and you drive a Subaru. So it was confusing for them. It was confusing. So wasn't funny, but it was confusing for them. My son is an engineer, and my daughter was an officer in the Navy. My daughter became an officer in the Navy. What the hell? And now, for 7 years she's done it, she's retiring. She's out. My daughter is retiring from the Navy. I'm working. I'm still working. And my daughter, she said she's gonna take her dog and go and see the country. Her dog is retired. I'm not retired. My dog is working part-time at CVS. That's how bad it is. When the children are little, I don't know if you can see this picture. Here she is. Nicole, this is my daughter at age 4. Oh, you can't see shit. And I remember that moment when she said, Daddy, I'm a little sleepy. I think I shall retire now. When I'm 26. She said that to me. I should have picked up on it. It's not funny. It's a new joke. It's not helping. So let me close with a quick poem. Thank you. My fiance is an artist. I'm a poet. Here's a quick poem called The Artist and the Poet by Howard Ronan. We were born to be together. We knew it from the start. She doesn't know shit about poetry, and I don't know shit about art, but we both love dive bar comedy. Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Yeah. Right, Howard Ronan. AKA audience member number 47.
Yeah.
Get it right. You know what I'm saying? That's a street name and whatnot. That's what we're going to tell the cops to come find him. You know what I'm saying? Great show, and I love that. I love all of it. My sister is a what are the people? A stewardess. I'm always totally paranoid about it because I'm all about percentages. I figure if you keep going up, eventually you got to come down. Totally freaks me out. It's like driving a car. Sooner or later. But anyway, it always freaks me out. I'm getting uncomfortable. I got to grab my nipples. All right. I'm good. Once again, give another round of applause for Howard the Warrior, Mr. Bad Motherfucker Ronan.
Yeah.
That's right. We're going to keep it on spinning around. Going up next to our lovely, wonderful young lady. She is actually a veteran of the fam. Been around a few times. Her name is kind of cool, but she's all warm on the inside. Ask her boyfriend. So you better get ready to show some love because this lady coming to the stage, they call her HW, but she ain't no Bush. And you got to know that she always comes with a heart that loves to push. So can I get a clap, 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 clap for Heather the Breeze Winter?
Like, how do you follow those introductions. I just can't even, I don't know how I'm supposed to do that. Like, that was amazing. Thanks, Mr. C. Thanks, Joe, for having me on. Love Dive Bar Comedy. I know that the protests are kind of over, but you know, I always like to let people know that I'm still an ally to the Black Lives Movement. First time I heard "Nice and Slow" by Usher on the radio in 1999. My vagina also became an ally to the Black Lives Movement. And then after I watched D'Angelo's music video, "How Does It Feel?" I became only a Black Lives ally. I could care less about any other thing going on, just as long as we keep them going. You know, just because of the video. So I kind of get objectophilia now, as I've been single in quarantine for a while. You know, like, hear me out for a minute, okay? I know it sounds crazy, but like, I spend most of my time at home, you know, either watching TV or playing video games. And like, I gotta say, like, some of these video game characters, like, they can get it, you know what I mean? Like, come on, like, okay, all right, so Red Dead Redemption, Arthur, like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me with that, like, that just rugged look and that voice that could just like melt your heart? You know, that's like daddy right there, you know what I mean? Like, I do it, you know? Call of Duty, all those soldiers just like, oh, they're just like all sweaty running around trying to defend their hard point, you know? I'm like, I'll defend your hard point for you. It's fine.
Hey,
Hey. Right here. Don't even get me started on like any of the sports, like, you know, Madden or NBA 2K, whatever, because the graphics are so good. It's like, whew, I don't need anything else, you know? But my favorite video game to play right now is definitely The Sims, because it's the closest to a relationship I can get in quarantine. You know what I mean? It's like I get to control the characters. Like, I just like make a house, you know, a $900 million house, cheating with the mother lode cheat. And I'm just like, I make the perfect guy, and he comes home with like the neighbor, right? And I'm all pissed off because I'm like, I didn't tell you to come home with her. And then so we have a fight. I control it. And then I make him up with me. You know what I mean? It's like the most ideal relationship a woman can have. Like, I control everything. I control the mouse in the relationship. So basically what I'm saying is that I'm still single and lonely. So just thought I'd let you know a little bit about me first. I love that guys refer to sex. They say getting pussy, you know, and I love how they refer to it like it's something they shop for at like the grocery store. You know what I mean? It's like, hey man, what's up? You're going to the grocery store? Oh, what are you getting? Oh no, I just gotta get milk and like eggs and just like some pussy really quick. And you know, it's like, it's so cavalier about it. And they're just like, oh really? I'm sorry, did you say pussy? I didn't see what shelf that was on. You know, aisle? I didn't catch it, you know? And it's just like, it's just so matter. I just gotta pick up some pussy. No big deal. And I wanted to like start that joke off, and I wanted to create that joke to make it sound like, oh, men are just like putting women down, you know, just making us, you know, be just sex symbols. And then I thought about like when me and my friends are hanging out and like we're talking about like guys, you know, and I'm like, hey girl, what's up? And she's like, nothing. I just gotta go to the store and like get some milk and some eggs and some dick. And I'm like, fuck, we're the same. We are sexist too, you know? We have no respect for either. So that's you know, I just think that it's like, at least like the dick is healthier. You know what I mean? What comes out of it's kind of healthier for you. So not quite that sexist. It's more of a health thing, I think. So whatever. Just saying. During quarantine though, or the queue, I've been trying to keep my mind sharp, you know, by learning new things, like new hobbies, and mainly just swiping on Snapchat and learning interesting facts about things. The most interesting fact I've learned so far is that there's these birds in Australia called rainbow lorikeets. And clearly you're all bird watchers, because I mean, who isn't? So they apparently get really drunk off of the nectar from fermented flowers and like apparently just go crazy and just start fucking acting drunken bird, like flying around, like shitting on everything. You know what I mean? Just like fucking in people's front yards and shit. Like just a bunch of bird babies everywhere, like going nuts. And I thought to myself when I read this fact, like, who do you call for that? You know what I mean? Like, do you call animal control? Do you call the police? What would you say if you called the police? Like, would you just be like, hey, there's these drunk birds like flying around and they're like being really rude and I have to work in the morning. Like, I don't know what you would do. It's just, why live in Australia? That wasn't really a joke. It was just more so I sounded smart to people on the show. So thank you for laughing the most at that. All right, guys. Well, that's my time. I'm Heather Winter. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Heather Winter. That's right. Heather gets a big winter. That's right. Good job. Good job. And I like it. She gave me some advice in that comedy because I'm running for president and I'm a single man. So I'm going to have several illicit liaisons. So when they question, Mr. Anthony, why did you have sex with that man's wife? I was like, she was protein deficient. Just doing my best for America. Just doing my best to keep America healthy. And I really appreciate that. Once again, another round of applause for Heather the Breeze Winter. Right. So we got the next gentleman coming up to the stage. He's Mr. Cool. He got some glasses. He's a little Italian, a little smooth. It's kind of lanky and kind of crazy. So you got to love what's coming up to you right now. He's been out the game. The government done put the move on him. So it's time for him to put the move on the government. He hunts. He cooks. He sous chefs up all kind of shit. I don't know if he does it on the block like they do. He whipping and whipping and whipping. But we'll see what happens. So get ready for the gentleman to come to the stage right now. We got to get him up. All right. So we're going to chant together. We got to bring him up with like some kind of chant. So we're going to just Mario.
Jesus Christ, these intros, they're so beautiful. Yes, my name is Mario. I am circumcised. But like the older I get, the more I wonder if I would have turned out differently if I had my foreskin and the other name my parents were going to pick for me. Because I'm Italian, they picked two names. So like, I don't know, Sergio with foreskin sounds way cooler than Mario with no foreskin. But yeah, I am Italian. So like I grew up with a really racist grandfather. But like I was a kid, so like I was too young to know that it was racist. So like up until I was 10 years old, I thought the family living down the street were actual raccoons. And like, yeah, like, and it's like when you're 5 and you hear your pappy talking about the coloreds, you think he's talking about crayons. Like, you don't find out the truth until way later. Like, I didn't know they were called Brazil nuts until a year after he died. And like it was his favorite nut too, dude. Like you couldn't just like walnuts or something. Like what the fuck? Like, but yeah, he died of lung cancer though when I was 12. He smoked a carton of Camel non-filter cigarettes every day for like 30 years. Yeah, he loves smoking, but he would have hated that he died with black lungs. I told that joke to my mom because it's about her dad, and she was like, "He wasn't racist. They all talked like that back then." It's like, "Yeah, mom. So they were all fucking racist back then." Like, she was like, "You can't tell that joke. That joke's racist." It's like, no, it's the joke isn't racist. It's it's your dad. Never mind, mom. You don't get it. Yeah, I recently saw a guy with a giant Batman logo on his chest, just the whole fucking logo, just right on his chest. And it's like, it's never the most intelligent person you see with that tattoo. Like they always look a little poor. Like sometimes they're wearing a Kobe Bryant jersey. Depends where you're at. But like, I don't know, Bruce Wayne, he was a really smart billionaire, but anybody with a giant Batman logo tattooed on their chest just looks really dumb and broke. And like, I don't know, like imagine you go to have sex with a guy for the first time and he takes his shirt off and just has just the Batman symbol on his chest. Like I think at that point it's just considered rape. Talk about a dark night, you know?
Ew.
Like I also think Suicide Girls tattoos are annoying. It's like, we get it, you love the movie The Crow, but like, do you need the entire script tattooed on the inside of your pussy? Like,
Oh
why?
my God.
Like, it's like, I want to go down on you, like you're hot, but like not while Edgar Allan Poe is watching me on your thigh. It's like creepy. Like, what else about tattoos? My ex-girlfriend, she has a tattoo. It says "Be nice," but she was a fucking bitch. I'm not going to tell you why. It's a long story, but it rhymes with she was sucking her ex-boyfriend's dick behind my back. I think if she got the tattoo somewhere where she could see it, maybe it would have worked, like on her ex-boyfriend's dick. And like there were red flags at the beginning of dating her, but like I just ignored all of them. And like, I don't know, like in the first week of dating her, she wanted to give me a blowjob while we watched To Catch a Predator. I was just like, no, don't go in the house. This is a trap. Like, get out. I went in anyway, and just like, and like while she was doing it, she was like, "You like that, Daddy?" And I said the first thing that came to my mind. And I was just like, "Yeah, suck Daddy's dick." And nope, that's the wrong answer. Why don't you have a seat over there for me, please? Her birthday's on 9/11, so I can literally never forget this bitch. Happy belated birthday, Erica. What else? Go back to your country. That used to be racist, but now it's just good advice. Let's all go back to Mexico. Fuck this place, dude. Yeah, there's been a lot of deaths from coronavirus. And a couple months into quarantine, they started comparing the number of COVID deaths to 9/11. They were like, "Oh, we're up to 3 9/11s now." And I think 9/11's my favorite made-up form of measurement, next to smidge and cunt hair. You've never heard cunt hair before? It's a dad term for smidge. A little bit. Fun fact, since I wrote that joke, we're actually up to like 75 9/11s, so we're all gonna die, guys. Thanks, I'm Mario. Talk to you. Bye.
Yeah, that's right. Another round of applause for Dr. Mario, the chef. Tonti. All right. I like it. And don't feel bad, man. My grandpa was racist as shit, too. He didn't even like me. So that's how it works. You know what I mean? We got internal shit. So I'm telling you, don't feel bad. And actually, when I was a kid, I actually used to consider Italians the black guys of Europe because they got the beautiful olive skin. They kind of got that swagger to them. And then I met some New York Italians, and I was convinced they're blacker than we are. You want to talk? They don't play, boy. They wild.
If you're Sicilian, you're considered the black people of Italians too. It's like they got a whole system going.
So they're like Africans.
I know. Like Sicilians are like get out of here, you Sicilians. Like they're all fucked up. They're all racist.
That's the joy of America and the world. Another round of applause for Mario, everybody.
Thank you.
All righty, right. So we're going right into the next comedian. She is actually our main host for the event and the one that sets it all up, gathers all these wonderfully talented people together, and keeps us coming back for more. She's a blonde beauty. She can sing. She can write songs. She also raps like several of our wonderful comedians on this show. And she is a mama, and she is a producer, and she's a cutie pie, too. That's how she got the kids. That's how it works. So put your hands together and get ready for the queen of all, Miss Wild Joanna, aka Wild Joe.
Hey, wow. Thank you for that intro. You've been doing the great intros tonight, Mr. C. And yeah, I'm a mom like Nicole. I have a 1-year-old. I also have a 2-year-old. So that's kind of cool to say. I have a 1 and a 2-year-old that won't last forever. But yeah, it's rough being pregnant. For me, I didn't have that glowing pregnancy. For me, pregnancy was rough. Comes with a lot of symptoms people don't tell you about. For me, the worst symptom was gas. Yeah, I got married while I was pregnant. We went on our honeymoon. We went sightseeing in Kauai. It's the nature island of Hawaii. We went to look at some waterfalls, and then we got back in the car. It still smells like a massive fart in there because it just got trapped in the car. I mean, I was farting throughout the entire honeymoon. It was not sexy. It didn't really matter though, because I got forbidden from having sex during my pregnancy. They say at 20 weeks pregnant, which is about halfway through, they said your cervix is too short and you're not allowed to have any more sex till after the baby is born. So that was a long dry spell, and anyway, but yeah, so I had a job at that time where I was working in a cubicle in an office, and I didn't want to fart in front of my coworkers. So I found a solution online. I looked up, there's these underwear they sell called shreddies. You could find it yourself. It's shreddies. So you could just let loose and shred all you want. And there's a carbon filter built into the butt of these underwear. So your farts don't stink. I tried it myself. It cut the smell like 95%, so I go to work feeling confident, perhaps overconfident, because I'm there shredding in my shreddies in my little cubicle. My boss comes over to talk to me and says, aren't you due to get maternity leave sometime soon? No, maternity leave doesn't start until, a few days before the baby's born. Well, maybe you could just leave now because we can't handle this smell in the office anymore. I mean, it was the quickest way to get out of there. But yeah. After a few washes, I guess the shreddies don't hold up. But anyway, I got through it. Actually, my baby was born breeched, which means it's upside down. The head is supposed to come out first. In this case,
Oh,
I
thank you.
thought it was me.
I like that too. Oh, stupid government.
Santa Barbara.
Strikes
I guess we'll
again.
pause until she comes back. So this pause in the video was sponsored by Shreddies. Apparently, they didn't like the disinformation being put on. They felt as though it was hurting their business. So
did I cut out for a second?
Come back,
Sorry.
and I'll sing my song.
Oh wait, can we hear you?
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep, we can hear you,
We
but you
can
froze.
hear you, but we
Cut
cannot
out.
see
Everybody
you.
froze for a second, so I switched.
Oh, there you are.
Now
Oh,
There
yeah.
you are.
There you go.
all right. So yeah, I had been hoping to have all this crazy pregnancy sex. I looked up sex positions for different trimesters of pregnancy. I had all these graphics ready to go, and like I said, I wasn't allowed to do any of it. So I was very excited. 6 weeks after you give birth, you go back to the doctor, and the doctor gives you the okay to have sex again. So the doctor checks me out. He says, you're fine, but your vagina is thin. It's just the hormones. You could just rub this cream on there and you'll be fine. So I'm like, well, that's kind of weird. I get fat, my vagina gets thin. But he gave me this cream, Premarin. I go home, I put it on thinking I'm going to get some action. My husband goes down on me for like 0.5 seconds. It comes right back up again. I'm like, uh-oh, this is not normal behavior. There's something wrong there. So I do a whiff test. That's actually an official term, a whiff test. Take a smell. It does not smell right. It smells wrong, to tell you the truth. So I look it up, this Premarin. What is Premarin? I look it up. Stands for pregnant mare urine. Pregnant mare urine. That's it's like has a high estrogen cream. That's what they're giving women to have sex again after they've had a baby. I mean, what a way to get back in the saddle. Yep. But yeah, shortly after the baby was born, there I am. I didn't get to do all those sex positions when I was pregnant, but after the baby was born, I'm doing all the positions: side by side, cross body, reverse football hold. These are not sex positions, people. These are breastfeeding positions. No, not having a lot of sex, but there's still a wet spot in the bed. So yeah. Yep. But no, it's hard. It's hard. Little kids, they don't have empathy until I don't know what age they develop empathy, maybe at least 3, 4, 5 years old. They have no empathy. They're completely impulsive, and they're totally selfish and demanding, although cute, So I was prepared for motherhood because all of my ex-boyfriends, it's pretty much the same thing. But anyway, they are cute. But yeah, I don't know. I guess how much time do I have left, Carol? Hope I didn't cut out too much. I had a bad connection, so I tried to fix it. Oh, 1 minute. 1 minute. All right. Well, I'd like to ask some of you guys, before I had babies, I was really big into sex. I love sex so much that I had a playlist. I had certain songs. Do any of you guys have songs that you like to fuck to? Anyone?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I heard Usher, nice and slow, and who was it? Genuine, Ride That Pony. Those are some good ones. Yeah. It's harder. Once you have a baby, you have to wait for the baby to go to sleep to have sex. Got to wait for the baby to go to sleep. So, me, I started fucking to lullabies. Rock-a-bye, baby, taking that cock. Baby better not wake up or she'll see something very unusual. Anyway, you guys. All right. I'm Wild Joe. Thanks for listening. It's been a fun time. Thanks to all you guys tuning in.
That's right. It's Wild Joe.
Wow.
That's right. Kill that shit. And we got one more comedian coming up in a little bit. He is our closer for the evening. Also, if you want to get your pregnant on, you can always go down to Tijuana and see a nice show. They love it down there. So get ready for this next gentleman coming to the stage. Another super talented guy. He is our closer. He is also a gentleman who's worked on several shows for us. He's a producer, a writer. He is award nominated. He also has a recent song coming out called Trump the Traitor. Look it up on all places where you can download music. And he's a bad man. And he's cool as hell and super creative. And he is always putting it in. And that's why we're going to give it to you at the end. On the street, they call him G Money. In the hood, and his babies, they call him G Honey. And here, we call him G the Man. So give me a clap, 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 clap for Gary G Money Robinson. Ah!
Guys, it's so good to be back. Mr. C, it's so cool because every time we did a show, you come right before the show, like almost late, but not quite. And now we're doing a Zoom one, and you're still coming right before the show, almost late. So it's totally authentic. All you guys were all great tonight, and it's so cool because all you girls don't have pandemic hair. Like your hair looks great, so it doesn't even look like the pandemic. It's amazing. Wild Joe, by the way, you can take your set and just cut off the last minute and put it on your Tinder profile. Just cut out the early stuff, but a lot of it's really attractive stuff. So, and Heather, that's great. That I didn't know how much of a gamer you were. I guess you're big with joysticks now, right? My favorite game is Halo. Like I'm more loyal to Halo than I've been to any girl in my life. Like I played Halo 1 through 5, And I love it because I like the sticky grenades, and like girls I date like the sticky grenades too. So, but like Misty said, Mr. C said, I've got a new rap song out. I know I look like a rapper. I grew up in the mean streets of La Jolla. You know, it was a great place to grow up. Like I went to La Jolla High, and the first girl I had a crush on, and the first girl I slept with, both later went into porn. I'm not just a lover, I'm a career guidance counselor. It was great growing up there. It's a trip because Mario has the exact hair I used to have. Like I used to have hair just like Mario, and now I got this. like Mario looks like before the pandemic. This is after the pandemic. I'm doing like a magic trip, and I'm getting rid of my hair in real time. It's amazing. I used to look like Tom Cruise from Rain Man. Now I look like Dustin Hoffman from Rain Man. I look like Tom Cruise that the missions really were impossible. Like the last Tom Cruise movie is called Mission Impossible Fallout. Apparently it's about my hair. Like there's no product in my hair at all. It's pointing straight up, defying physics and gravity. Like my hair is doing everything it can to get off my head. Almost like it's grouping together and saying abandoned scalp. Like God's got a great sense of humor. I'm not religious. My bald spot perfectly holds a yarmulke. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's a trip, Nicole. You're talking about Never Been Kissed. I wrote some songs with one of the leads for Never Been Kissed, and he'd come to my shows and he'd go, I'd say, oh, there's Jeremy Jordan for Never Been Kissed. He's going to be in the sequel. It's called Never Done Anal. But yeah, how you guys doing during the pandemic? Everybody holding up okay?
Yeah. Woo!
It's kind of weird, like being away from your friends and family for weeks at a time, but I'm an editor. For me, this is just Tuesday. Like, I didn't even know there was a pandemic going on, really, you know? It's tough, though, because we have to socially distance. We have to stay 6 feet apart from everyone, when I'd really prefer to stay 12. Now I only talk to my parents on Zoom, and it's kind of cool, though, because as soon as they start nagging me, I can turn them off, so... Good. I found I have a deep passion for cooking. Cup of noodles. I have my own personal chef, ARD. But yeah, it's a weird thing. It sucks for me because I was hoping to go to Vegas. I love Vegas. Anybody go to Vegas here a lot? Yeah, I love Vegas. I stay at the Luxor. They comp me because my relatives built the pyramids. They were Hebrides for the non-history majors over there. I like the Luxor because they got the wedding chapel right next to the Titanic exhibit. Completely reminds me of my marriage. Like the Titanic went down after 4 hours of sinking. My ex-wife went down after 4 hours of begging. They got the bodies exhibit. Have you seen the bodies exhibit at the Luxor? Mm-hmm. It's like old dead people on display. So if you're going to Vegas and you want to see what old dead people look like, go see Cher in concert. That's not mean, okay? Cher's looked on dead since like 19. Cher is 25 years older than me and looks 25 years younger. Cher looks like she could be my daughter. And her daughter looks like she could be my son. I love Vegas. I went to see David Copperfield. He's got an amazing illusion. He's levitated his face for 30 years. I saw Elton John. He's got that great song, Please Let Your Sun Go Down on Me. I stayed at Trump Las Vegas with my ex-wife, and then I deported her from my life after we built a wall. I saw Jennifer Lopez. I got to tell you, her performance is not half-assed. It's full ass. I saw Michael Jackson. He's got that. There's this amazing hologram in that show that's so real. You can almost feel Michael Jackson feeling you. Like it's that real. So anyway, I just want to close by. How should I close? I don't know. I'll just say it's great to be back. Thank you guys very much.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, yeah. Another round of applause for Gary G. Money Robinson. And remember to check out his song, Trump the Traitor, which is on all social places where you can buy it, download it, and get with it. And that was our last comedian. So round of applause to all of our comedians. Dive Bar Show. All right, now I'm gonna just finish out with a little song because my birthday was last week and I didn't get to do the show. So I'm gonna sing happy birthday to myself since I got my Marilyn Monroe shirt on. And I'm
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
and then I'm gonna go ahead and go over everybody's name, and then we're gonna get Miss Joe to take us home. So let's do the song.
Woo!
Woo. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. President. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. That's right. Another great Dive Bar show. So let's run over all the names, everybody we had on the show tonight. We had a lot of great talent. Let me take a quick look because my stupid pad went down. All right, there we go. And we had all this great stuff going on. So, of course, we had Miss Nicole Burrs. Round of applause for that. Make sure you go see that Never Been Kissed, which is on Amazon and Apple. Also, we had the gentleman follow up, Mr. Howard Ronan. Right behind it like cook crack. Then we had Miss Cool and Smooth, but warm on the inside like hot food, Heather Winter. And then we followed it up with the godson himself, Sir Chef Zamizan, Mario Toque. Then we came back like pat with Miss Wild, Miss Mama, Pregnant Fucking Joe. And last but not least, the G-Man. He gets awards, he raps songs, and he's got the best hair in the business. Gary Robinson. That's the Dive Bar Comedy Show. Take him home, Miss Joe.
All right. Yes. Thank you to everyone that was on our show, to everyone that was watching. Thank you, Mr. C and Carol Newell, who does our tech every week and holds it together for us. And yeah, it is so fun just keeping these shows going so we could have human interaction during this time that we're all alone and keep comedy alive when we can't really do as much out in person. So tune in every Tuesday night on Facebook Live. If you don't have Facebook Live, you could check us out anytime you want. The next day I put up the replay. It's at divebarcomedy.com. It's on iTunes. It's on SoundCloud. It's on Android and Google Play and all over the place. So wherever you listen to podcasts, check out Dive Bar Comedy. And yeah, check out all the projects that our fine comics are working on. All right, you guys, I will see you next week. Everybody have a great night. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Like and share.
Thanks, guys.